Maddie, you have to try this crab.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, just one bite. It's so delicious.
I'm fine. I got my own food.
Just a baby bite.
I don't want any.
Just try just one bite.
So good to chat with you again for Ted. I just love.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. I'm so thrilled that we're chatting again for this. I have even been rewatching it leading up to our interview because I love the show so much. And how does it feel for you? I mean, this is a franchise loved by a lot of people, and it's great that it's been welcomed not only by audiences but by critics. How does it feel for you seeing the response to it?
Love that you get from these fans. It's phenomenal. I've never experienced anything like, to make people so happy and to just enjoy something that gives them so much joy is just a gift to me.
Well, I'm glad that you've gotten to be a part of it, and I'm glad too that we got a season 2 renewal, which I'll get into that later. But yes, great stuff. So last time I chatted with you, I'd asked Scott a similar question, but you have the interesting role of taking on the character previously played by Alex Borstein, and obviously it's a very a very different take from what we saw in the movie. But I'm curious what that is like for you, though, doing that, coming into a character that somebody else previously embodied and then bringing
has already been established.
Yeah.
Oh, you just follow the story. You're just like, okay, this is her, okay, washing dishes. This is her. we already saw her freaking out when the teddy bear, comes to life. But you just have to go with it. And obviously, when I was hired, I thought, I guess they don't want anything near Alex Borstein's character, and that's okay. And we're just going to, start from page 1 and see if this works, and it did, and I'm just so happy about that.
No, I really love what they've done with Susan in the show so far, and one thing I've loved too was the episode in which she really gets pushes back into teaching and kind of realizes she's very happy with where she is in life. And I'm curious, do you feel that's going to be sort of the through line for the rest of the show, or do you think that Blair might be able to sort of keep convincing her to try and find more agency outside of the family?
I don't know. I mean, that's a great question. For me, it was so important to establish why this woman would stay with a man like Maddie for so long. This woman who is just so sweet and pure and innocent. And I think desperately seeking Susan, we find that out. We explore, that's why she's with him. I mean, to her, she's the yin to his yang. And I think it's quite beautiful, even though she did have these dreams of becoming, an English teacher and knows so much more than we thought she did. It's hopefully she will still be full of surprises.
I hope so as well. I mean, I really would love to see more of her grow, but also just her relationship with her family is super sweet. And that actually brings me to my next question, which is what is it like building that rapport with your family cast for this show?
Very easy. They are the sweetest, nicest people. Georgia, Mads, Scott, they're just, they're very familiar. It's the only way I can explain it. That you feel as if you've known them for years. They have that thing about them. And when we were, shooting episode 1, it was like we had been doing 10 seasons on it. And we were just really, really sat and fit very well together. And that's sometimes very hard to make believable when, you're not really gelling with the other actor, but I think we were all just so aware of the fact that this is such a blessing, and to be given this gig, we it's high stakes, and we're there to make it as believable as possible. It's really easy to love all of them.
That's amazing to hear. And you're right. I mean, prequels don't always work, but this one certainly has. So kudos to you all on that. Now, what is it like, though, being Susan in, you talked about her innocence and sort of, you've talked before about her conservative nature. How hard is it to sometimes not break in a scene when everybody else is swearing and having a good time and Susan just smile through.
I was having a conversation with a lady about an hour ago. We were talking about that. Who is the one that breaks the most? Scott. He laughs at everything. He's a laugher. He's a giggler. And he's constantly giggling all the time. And we have to go do it over and over and over again. Like, Scott, come on, man. We all want to go home. He's like, sorry. But it's so sweet and endearing. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's amazing. Have you ever had a moment, though, where you yourself broke instead of Scott?
The banana eating scene. I thought, what is happening here? And then you can hear people on the crew, trying to stifle a laugh, which makes you laugh. It's very contagious.
Oh, absolutely, especially with that scene. I mean, it's a scene where you got to play it straight, but and everyone likes to laugh on the set. They're all people that just love a good joke. Well, then they're doing it right because it's turning into great work for the show.
I think so.
And so I love that they're really pushing for you guys to have Emmy considerations as well, which you certainly deserve for this show. How does it feel for you to have that sort of awards push?
I've never won anything, so this would be really exciting. No, I won third place in a writing contest when I was in the 7th grade. It was and but to be a part of this ensemble, I mean, for it to be nominated, that would be just incredible, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, it'd be insane.
It would, and it would be such a great sort of revival of this franchise as it already is, of like, hey, let's get it back on the big screen, let's keep you guys going, let's get Ted everywhere.
And I have a wedding gown that needs to be worn again. And if I get invited to the Emmys, that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my wedding gown. I'm gonna have it dyed, maybe a navy blue or something, maybe shortened a little bit, and I'm wearing that again.
I like it. I'm ready to see you get that nomination then, and hopefully win as well.
I'm joking, and I'm definitely in it for the free dinner and the booze.
Hey, that's a still good trade right there.
And just meeting all those people that you see on television all the time. I screamed when I was invited to the Golden Globes, and to see the entire cast of Succession coming up an escalator as I was going down. I surprised myself. I went, Succession, like a real jerk, like one of those. I fanned out on them, and I surprised myself. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, hey, it's hard not to fan out a little bit. I mean, in my job, I have to sit here and bite my tongue half the time for how much I want to fan out. So I get it. So I mentioned the season 2 renewal earlier, and this interview actually comes at somewhat fortuitous timing because I saw Scott posted that you guys are doing read-throughs now for the new season, and
yes,
I'm curious if you can share any little insights about what we can expect from the next season.
I think you can expect this. It's funnier than the first season, if you can believe that. I don't know how these writers come up with these situations. It's just crazy. So freaking talented. I'm a little jealous of these writers. How do they come up with these hysterical things? It's just so good.
I love that. That's a big vote of confidence. So I'm excited for it. And if memory serves me right, typically read-throughs come about a month or two before production starts. So can we look forward to a late summer, early fall filming start for season 2?
I'm not sure. You will be the first to know. I'll give you a call. Give me your cell phone number and I will text you from the set. And I'll say, baby, we're going. We're rolling.
I mean, hey, if that could truly happen, I would type it in right now and send it your way. But
I'll FaceTime you. Grant, it's happening. Wake up.
That's a good way to wake me up is, hey, here's the set. And it's like, oh, okay. Yep. That made my day. But awesome. I hope then that you get the news on that film start date soon, because I'm ready for more Ted.
No, we just love doing this show so much. It's just so coolest gig I've ever had.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. And so, obviously, since this is a prequel, though, there's no real returning stars. But if they found a way to bring back anybody from the original movie for the show, who would you like to see?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Kunis, Little Miss Kunis. Why not? Oh, she's so. I've always wanted to meet her.
That would be pretty great. I would
She's
love
so
to.
beautiful.
She is, and she's very funny. And Lori being somehow coming up would be awesome to see.
That'd be a lot of fun. Yes, and Amanda, of course. She's just a doll. Those girls. Oh, those children. Their mothers and fathers did great jobs. Let me tell you.
They absolutely did, and
There's
so
some good raising there.
definitely. And I hope that again you get the chance to work with them, if not on Ted, on something else, because
Something else, sure.
yeah. And so speaking of something else, I did have a few non-Ted questions to ask.
Sure.
So I admittedly came on the Euphoria train right before season 2 came out, and now I'm here eagerly waiting for season 3 to come about. Obviously, there's been a lot of delays with creative side as well as just with scheduling, and I'm curious if you've heard any updates on when you might finally get the ball rolling on that.
Well, it definitely is getting. It definitely is rolling. I think Sam right now is writing it, and I think the stakes are really high because season 1 and 2, were really affected people, and so season 3 really has to, it carries a lot of weight and pressure. I don't know when they start filming. I really look forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing what Sam has in store for season 3. He's just such a genius, that guy. So cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he has as well, and to seeing you come back and see how yours and Sydney's relationship continues in that show, because it's been very intriguing thus far.
Oh yeah, beautiful Sydney. She talked about someone who's so much fun to play with. She and Maud are just the best.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
I also am really looking forward to Bishop in Tales of TMNT. I love that they're
Oh yeah,
flipping the character around with a female version of her, and that it's
you've done your homework. Yeah.
of course I have. And plus, I mean, I'm a big TMNT fan. I mean, that's their garbage truck from the live action movies. So
Hey, look at that. The miniature. I love miniatures. Don't you love miniatures?
So I'm a big fan of that franchise, and I'm glad you're
great.
joining it.
This is lovely. And there's something that's really unique that they've added to this. The animation itself, it's a lot of fun. And a lot of young voiceover actors are in it. And that's what I think makes it really special.
I really do like that they went for age correct casting for this.
These are kids. These
Yeah.
are kids playing the turtles, and it's so fun. It's so cute. It's so good.
What can you tell me though about sort of Bishop's story in the movie? I know you need to kind of keep it somewhat secret, but what can you share about what she is up to?
Well, what's so fun is I had no idea what she looked like until the first day of recording. So they showed me her picture. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Now I know what to do with her. And it's just so much fun. The way she's animated is so funny. And she reminds me of all of the teachers I feared growing up. Around, all of those teachers in parochial school. Pull out your books.
That's an interesting tease. I'm really curious then to see how that plays into your performance.
She's spooky.
I mean, if she's separating the turtles, she must be spooky. So she must have some crazy things going on.
Yeah, I mean, she's gosh, what people do in their spare time. She's all about the turtles.
Well, I can't wait to see why she is all about the turtles in the near future. And then for my final question before I let you go too, I realized after we talked last, I shared my love about waiting, but I also, one of my first watches for you was Serena in the Legally Blonde movies. And
Yeah.
Reese is cooking up new things for that franchise. What are
Yes, a prequel. I can't wait to watch that. The prequel. This is her as a little chicken right before she becomes a USC student. I think right before she goes to college, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I saw the musical the first time, and I loved it.
That's awesome. Well, and so, I mean, there's been a third movie in the works for a long while as well.
Yes.
And I know that Jennifer and Luke and Reese obviously are sort of lined up to come back, but have they approached you at all to bring Serena back and see where she's at nowadays?
It sort of. I don't know if I can really say anything about it, really. I don't know. I mean, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. The funny thing about being a character actor is you're usually called like a week before they start production. Hey, you're playing Serena. I am? Yeah. You start Monday. You're going to wardrobe tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And there you go. All right, let's go. You have to be game for anything.
Well, I hope that leads to something for you for Legally Blonde 3, and that movie finally comes about. I mean, ever since they first announced it, I was like, oh, that would be so much fun to see that come back. So I hope that you get to be a part of that journey once again.
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of doing a read through of a new script with Reese's son, and he is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal actor, and he's just, I think it was taking someone's place at the last minute. So they called him that morning. And so he was just reading it and coming up with this character spur of the moment, and he killed it. I was so impressed by just his timing and being very comfortable in his skin, which is really hard to do when you're in your 20s. And I was really, really impressed.
That is incredible. I can't wait to then see what comes from. I know I keep saying I can't wait to see, but I genuinely mean it. I love film. I love TV. And so I genuinely can't wait for all of this, especially Ted season 2 and to see you get that nomination. So Alanna, it was so great getting to catch up with you again. And I hope you have a great rest of your week.
How often would you say you have intercourse?
It's none of your goddamn business.
Look, why don't we just stick
Every 6 months.